Made it to a Friday, back in the studios. We have neglected the text line this week. We'll make up for that today. Brad McElhenney stops by and Attorney General J.B. McCuskey. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. We are underway.
Not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded.
We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the MetroNews Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is MetroNews Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Cue Dave and TJ. You're on. MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave Wilson in Morgantown, TJ Meadows in Charleston. We appreciate you being part of the program. If you're listening in on one of our great radio affiliates across the states, or if you're checking us out on the MetroNews TV app, Facebook Live, YouTube, we're there as well. Jake Link is out today. Guess who's got a birthday, TJ? Apparently he's a Valentine's Day birthday, by the way.
You know, I feel bad for him then. Because, I mean, it's probably, oh, honey, this is for Valentine's Day and your birthday.
Yeah, the double gift. Nobody
That's
likes
not
the double
fun.
gift.
No.
But Jake is out, so man of the people, Jack Karolchek is running the video stream. Sophia Wasik handling the audio this morning. Made it to a Friday. That means Steam Release comes up at 11:33 this morning. We've got a lot to get to prior to that. State Attorney General J.B. McCuskey will stop by a little bit later. Chris Stirewalt, Brad McElhenney will catch us up on what's happening under the Capitol Dome this morning. And a very special appearance by Fox News Radio's Ryan Schmelz a couple of minutes from now. Back in the studios after a week under the Capitol Dome, and I don't know if it was an eventful week. We hit the halfway mark this week, TJ, but the session kind of keeps plugging along, and I still can't shake the feeling that something is going to happen to shake things up here in the final final 4 weeks of the session. But what were your thoughts coming out of the last couple of days under the dome?
Yeah, I think that's something starting here is probably going to be the tax credit. That 10% versus 5%. So, you know, last week we talked with Ben Queen. I like to call him the chief whip. He's actually the majority whip in the state Senate. Dave, when we talked to him, what I heard from him, and correct me if you had a different feeling, I heard that the Senate was moving and looking toward a way to get to the 10%. Is that a fair characterization?
Yes, I would say that's fair. They're looking, yeah.
They're looking. Meanwhile, we talked to House Speaker Roger Hanshaw and also attended a presser this week that he gave. And when asked about the tax cut, the 10%, he said, well, you know, we were given 5%. That's what was in the governor's budget. So the executive needs to show us something else. I'm paraphrasing what Roger said. I think that gets through the Senate, the 10%. I think it has trouble in the House. Ultimately, it may become law because no one wants to run against a tax cut, and everybody in the House is up for re-election. So many senators are up for re-election. I think that's probably where this is going, and it's going to become a trade-off. All right, if I give you this tax credit, what are you going to give me? What do I get? Is that, we talked this morning, is that the Team West Virginia mechanism that mirrors Jobs Ohio that can get more jobs in here? I don't know, but I think it's going to come down to a little horse trading, and I think that'll be the thing that kind of picks everything up. I'll start there with the tax cut. Your thoughts, sir?
I think you and I are on the same general track. The only place I would divert a little bit, I'm not as confident as you seem to be that 10% is what we end up with. I'm more in the camp that we end up at the 5% number as a compromise between the two. I get the feeling the majority, again, we all know about feelings, right? On the House side, there's much less of an appetite for a big tax cut. Based on the conversations that we've had on the air and off the air for that matter. So I'm more in the camp of we end up at a compromise of the 5% with the horse trading being the Team West Virginia bill, TJ, I think is the big leverage point that the Senate has right now to try to get the House to come along. But I think the come along point is get to a 5% income tax reduction. Similar, this reminds me somewhat, not all the way, but I think there are some comparisons here. Remember when Governor Justice came back and asked for the additional tax cut, the legislature didn't want to do it, but they gave him a little bit. And maybe that's what we end up seeing here by the end of when this is all said and done in March.
It could be. And look, I think there is political points if you stand up to the governor and say no. And you say, no, we're going to continue to fund the Hope Scholarship fully. We're going to continue to focus on roads. We know we have problems there. Oh, by the way, we're $224 million off when it comes to funding special education. So we're going to put money into that. I think there's room here to oppose this and politically to come out of it on the right side. It's just how the messaging is done. So we'll see what happens. The other thing that I would hit on that just really took me back, and we've talked about it, but it's worth noting. So prior to joining you in this show, sir, I tracked 12 state houses in America. The legislation that went through them did that for a company, tracked D.C. I've seen a lot. I've been stunned. I don't know that I've ever been as stunned and ever seen a more abusive and caustic attack on business as what we saw this week from the House floor with House Majority Leader Pat McGeehan. Paraphrased, basically saying that the reason certain associations in the state, the West Virginia Chamber and others, oppose E-Verify is because they like to be able to leverage cheap illegal labor at the expense of West Virginia citizens. Talk about a broad brush and talk about no evidence whatsoever to back it up. The business community has every right to be outraged over it. And frankly, if you're looking at West Virginia and you've got several states in play, and you've got a decision to deploy capital here, the little things sometimes can matter. It comes down to that. It can be that tight. If you heard that speech and you said, okay, yeah, you know what, Indiana, I think you edged me out on that. I think you just edged out West Virginia on that one. Just blew my mind.
Yeah, I often say I see a lot of politicians who are bad at politic. There are a lot of ways you can make the argument for that bill without going there. And I don't know why he went there. He did. Clearly, he caught your attention. And not just your attention. Brian Dayton joined us from the West Virginia Chamber of Commerce this week. A lot of members of the chamber certainly caught their attention. And that was my hang-up with that bill in particular, TJ. It's one of those deals that it ends up targeting the businesses and small business owners. And we're talking about the E-Verify bill.
Yes.
That are trying to do things the right way. They're trying to do everything by the book, which you should be trying to do, obviously. Is the unscrupulous business owner who is going to hire illegal aliens, for instance, and pay them cash under the table, are they going to do this? No. Are they going to do it in a way that can be tracked? Obviously not. How do you enforce this? Well, if it's going to be by inspection, well, I mean, look, I could make an argument both ways. With most things, I could make the argument. I think that was a poor argument to try to get this across the finish line and get some of those delegate members, House Delegates members, on board with it. It was a poor choice to try to promote your bill.
Here's the final thing I will say. I think that statement had enough backlash that bill will actually end up being tempered in the Senate because of that. Would not surprise me in the least. No, would not surprise me.
Okay.
There's a lot. There is a lot. That put more focus on that from business than was on it before.
Because
and
that seems
they're upset.
Like a bill in the Senate would be very much in favor of, just given the direction it has gone the last couple of years.
But when you tick the business community off, that's what I'm saying. I think the politics of this thing are going to take over the economics and the argument of the issue and how immigration plays into this. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. But I just hear a lot of folks that have picked up the phone and called me. You know, I was casually monitoring, but that caught my attention, and now I'm all in. I'm all in. I don't want it. So we'll see.
That's an example of bad politicking. I think a very good example this week was Chris Warner.
Yeah.
The Secretary of State, West Virginia Secretary of State, rejecting the Department of Justice's request for voter information. And look, we saw, if you're on social media and follow this story, there was a lot of people twisting it and turning it into a narrative of standing up to the president, standing up to the deal, which he did. He did stand up and say no, obviously. But I thought Chris Warner handled that very, very well and said, look, I got to follow state law. State law is very clear. I'll be in violation of state law. No, this is what the law is in West Virginia. I thought he handled it very well in a way as to not – I don't think he provokes the administration, but he is accountable and does what he's supposed to do as, stated in state code. I thought he handled it well this week.
Kudos. I agree completely. Wrote the same. I do think the way he handled it, though, and I don't think it's provoking the administration, but I do think it puts the onus back on the administration. DOJ knows the law. They're going to research this before they pick up or write a letter, pick up the phone, write a letter. And they did it twice. Why is the Department of Justice asking the West Virginia Secretary of State to do something that is against the law? Why do you do that? DOJ of all agencies should be the one that is championing, I can't talk, that wants you to act within the law. And they do this.
Are they? Are they doing the research? That's always my question. Are they doing the research?
Hope.
Well,
I mean, you
would
up the
hope.
phone. Okay, well, let's say they didn't. He sent him the first letter, did he not? I'm sure
That's true.
It
That is a good point.
It's can't do it. It's against West Virginia law. What do? Come right back and go to the higher guy and say, I'm going to put more pressure and ask again. Jeez.
I thought I thought Chris Warner handled that well. Also, it's not sexy, but the House continues to churn out the jobs first agenda bills. Roger Hanshaw highlighted that this week. The portable benefits, I think, is with House Finance this morning, that bill. So keeps hitting. I know you're going to be tired of the baseball analogy. All of you out there are going to be tired of it by the time. Solid singles. Keep hitting the singles, sending those bills over to the Senate. I think the House came in with an agenda and is sticking to that. And look, there are some other things they've gotten off the rails on here and there. That's going to happen. But overall, House is following its agenda through the first half of the session.
You can make a strong case for this particular legislature, both sessions of this legislature, that the House has flipped the roles. The Senate is thought of to be the more deliberative body. That's by design in a bicameral system. You can argue that for the last 2 years, no, that's been the House. And that's a testament to Hanshaw's leadership and what he's done and the new committee structure and being very deliberate and essentially telling his folks, I don't care how many bills we pass. I care about the substance of the bills that we pass. So you know what? As my dad said, may you rest in peace, base hits win ball games. And he was right then and he's right now.
Small
and
ball.
You are too.
Still works. Get them on, get them over, get them in. Ask any baseball coach. And I'll just end here for me, TJ. I think it was a bad week for the governor. I think overall, there was the incident with the sign. There was the non-invitation to the White House for the coal miners press conference. And look, I don't know if it makes a difference to you folks out there whether or not he went or not, but it was a topic that came up inside the Capitol. And as we talked about for a moment yesterday, all of those things add up when you're trying to get your initiatives across the finish line. When you're trying to get your initiatives that, there are a lot of legislators who are very lukewarm to, all that stuff kind of adds up as you try to build your capital within the Capitol. And just not his week this week.
Anybody can misspell something. Dave Allen made this point on his show. We're so used to seeing West Virginia that our mind just sees West Virginia. Anybody can have a bad day. Anybody can make a mistake. A governor should have said, you know what? That's on me. Even though it isn't. He didn't make the sign. He didn't type it in. He didn't print it. He didn't do any of those things. But you know what that was an opportunity to do? Show leadership. And say, you know what? That's on me. Somebody made a mistake. I own it. At the end of the day, everything that comes out of my office is on me. I'm the governor of this state. That is how you show leadership, and that is how you win the electorate, by standing up and saying, I own the mistake. He didn't do that.
Your thoughts are welcome. 304-TALK-304. You can give us a shout on the text line, 304-TALK-304. We did neglect it a lot this week. We had some very busy shows down at the Capitol. We'll make up for that today. You can give us a call as well at 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Share your thoughts from this past week at the legislature. Fox News Radio's Ryan Schmelz going to join us the other side of the break. A special appearance by Ryan. We'll tell you why coming up. This is Talkline from the Cove Insurance Studios.
Some relationships just work better with trust, reliability, and great communication. That's why more West Virginians are choosing CityNet Gig Fiber. Fast, symmetrical speeds, no contracts, no data caps, and local teams monitoring the network around the clock. Plus, for a limited time, new residential customers can get 50% off any internet plan for a full year, with plans starting as low as $25 a month. Check availability at your address. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Hospitals drive West Virginia's economy. They produce jobs and create opportunities while keeping our communities healthy. Employing nearly 54,000 people, West Virginia hospitals rank among our state's largest and most dependable employers. They provide more than $1 billion in community benefits and generate nearly $17 billion in total economic impact each year. Hospitals are investing where it counts, advancing health, ensuring access to care, and powering West Virginia's economic future.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at wvha.org.
Principal Greg Dosh of MTech.
Thanks to funding in part from West Virginia lottery proceeds, we're expanding MTech with a new STEM edition.
Across West Virginia, opportunities like these are made possible when you play, helping to ensure more students can discover their future right here at home. For 40 years, proceeds from the West Virginia Lottery for education have totaled $4.1 billion. West Virginia Lottery, 18 plus to play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop Thoron.
Metro News Midday gives you the news of the day as it's happening.
Well, yeah, I was going to say we'd get something more important, but probably not.
Honestly, no. We're just doing whatever. We're
probably
spitballing
not.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for Midday on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Attorney General J.B. McCuskey joins us from the Charleston studio, bottom of the hour. So just to pull the curtain back a little bit, TJ, I think they call this breaking the fourth wall in the show business.
Break it.
Business. So every morning, Fox News sends out a list of the correspondents that are available to do interviews across the country, what topics they are available to discuss. Sometimes we book them to discuss those topics. Sometimes we make up our own and surprise them when they get on the show. Today, it says Ryan Schmelz is available. It's his last day with Fox News. Ask him anything you want. We will do that. Joining us now, Fox News Radio's Ryan Schmelz. Ryan, good morning, buddy.
Good morning. Sorry I didn't tell you this is happening.
Well, apparently they let the cat out of the bag for you anyway. Last day, man. What are you doing there, short-timer?
Oh, good question. Writing stories and calling into stations like I normally do. I Yeah, I didn't dress appropriately for the hill today because I have been packing all the last week, and I put my work clothes away, and I was like, wow, okay, I don't have anything to wear now. So we're going to have to survive.
What are you going to be doing, Ryan? You're leaving Fox News. Can you tell us what your next adventure will be?
I can tell you off air, but I can't release it publicly just yet. I'm waiting to reveal the surprise at a later date. So we'll chat. We'll chat. I'll tell you.
Okay. All right.
So stay tuned. Is it, we got to press you on that. Is it going to keep you in D.C.?
It is not. No, I've already made the announcement that I'm leaving D.C. The comment section on my Instagram post probably ruined where it is. So you'll be able to figure that part out. I'm going to Florida. But yeah, no, it was, it wasn't my expectation to leave D.C., but it's now happening. And it's very sad. A lot of emotions, obviously, but I'm going to miss being on the Hill every day for sure.
What will you miss about that? I mean, is it the interaction with the country's top lawmakers? Is it the ambiance of the Capitol? I mean, what will you really miss?
All of the above. Yeah. No, the ambiance of the Capitol, being in there every single day, the blessing of being able to do that, being able to talk and be a part of history, be at the front seat of history in some of the biggest decisions that are made. And then also just, the great people that I've gotten to know there. I mean, our Fox Hill team's phenomenal. I've looked up to so many people at Fox who work in this bureau and have now gotten to know them as friends and still learn from them and have them as mentors, whether it be Chad Pergram, whether it be Mike Emanuel, Mark Meredith especially. These are some of the best in the business, and to be able to call them mentors and call them friends is unbelievable.
When we're talking to Ryan Schmelz, Fox News Radio, he's going to be moving on to presumably bigger and better things in Florida. It's definitely going to be warmer. It's definitely a step up from Northern Virginia weather. When you got to D.C., what were your expectations when you first arrived as a new reporter on Capitol Hill versus what you eventually learned about the job?
Right. I mean, I went into it with an open mind. I feel like there's two approaches, reporters can take here when they start and they're new. You can either be like the go-getter who like, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make noise. I'm going to change things and I'm going to yada, 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 and make my presence known. Or you can take the walk on eggshells approach and just kind of like feel it out, better seen than heard. You speak when spoken to. And I kind of took that approach. I mean, I joined Fox News. It's the number one, cable station in America. And I wasn't going to act like I knew everything. And I just kind of let the stars be the stars and ease my way into it. And when my time and my opportunity came, I would take advantage of it. And I think that was the right approach. I've seen reporters come in here like a bat out of you-know-what, and it worked for them. I've also seen them do it, and it had severe consequences. So I think that was kind of how my expectation going into it. I think there's a lot of things you learn, but I just think that this is a very unique time in D.C. because this is probably one of the most insane news cycles we've seen ever since I've been alive that I can remember, and it's just nonstop right now.
Well, Ryan, we appreciate you with all the reports from D.C. here on the show over the last several years. Good luck to you down in Florida. Stay in touch, by the way. You know where to find us.
You got my number. Text me anytime. And I don't think this is I think I'll still be able to do this down the road. So this is not goodbye. See you later.
All right. Fox News Radio's Ryan Schmelz. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, guys.
This is Talkline on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update from the MetroNews Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. FEMA is providing disaster relief funds to a West Virginia community ravaged by the 2025 floods.
More than $2 million is going to the town of Oceana from the Federal Emergency Management Agency's Public Assistance Program. FEMA Region 3 Federal Coordinating Officer Abby Eichhorn says they're helping the town rebuild its public services.
They were awarded $2.63 million for their swimming pool. The funding is going to support the construction of a new deck, underground pool, and a concrete wall. That was one of our bigger projects.
FEMA also recently granted more than $1 million to the Kanawha Public Service District to repair sewer lines serving Cooper Hollow, Little Creek, and Winifred, as well as more than $1 million for the Chesapeake Fire Department to construct its relocated fire station after the building was destroyed by floodwaters in 2023. I'm Daniel Woods, WVMetroNews.com.
The one-year anniversary of the devastation devastating Southern Coalfields floods is this weekend. This bill has an unusual phrase describing it. Senate Bill 802, it creates 2 Leave Teachers Alone days. Senate Education Committee Chair Amy Nicole-Grady, herself a classroom teacher, says right now counties schedule a number of professional development days for teachers. She says the professional development days just aren't working.
Whereas if they had a day when they don't have students, that they could just use it in their classroom to work on providing and planning for quality instruction for the next days with their students, they wouldn't take those days off.
The bill passed Grady's committee Thursday. You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Come on, Liam, let's go. Get open. Come on, go for it. Wake up. Wake up, Liam. Oh, come on, use your head. Gotta want it. Dominate.
There he goes again. Liam's dad yelling from the stands, trying to relive his glory days.
I know. We're just trying to have fun out here and play with our friends. Like, it's not that deep.
He seriously needs to get a grip.
Does he really think he's helping Liam play better?
I feel bad for Liam. I know he's embarrassed his dad ruins every game like this. I mean, I would be too.
Someone needs to tell him this isn't about him.
Yeah, stop trying to coach from the stands and just cheer.
That's what Liam wants.
That's what we all want.
Be your student's biggest fan, not their biggest critic. This message presented by the WVSSAC and the West Virginia Athletic Directors Association.
Governor Patrick Morrisey has a news conference scheduled for this hour at the state capitol. A search of the Ohio River has resumed this morning across the river from Mason, West Virginia, where a car plunged into the river Wednesday evening near Pomeroy, Ohio. A 4-year-old girl was rescued from the sinking car, but the driver's body has not been recovered. The car has been pulled out of the water, but a search continues for the victim's body, and that continues today. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
.304 Talk 304 is the text line. We'll get to some of those coming up a couple of minutes from now. Daniel Woods is also going to drop by. He's got an update, news update for us from the PSC. We'll get to that in just a bit. This Valentine's Day, fall in love with your internet all over again. CityNet Gig Fiber delivers fast, reliable speeds with no contracts, no data caps, and local West Virginia support. And right now, new customers can get 50% off any internet plan for 1 full year. Plans are starting at just $25 a month. Check availability at your address. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet, love at first speed. Yesterday, the Trump administration announced that it was revoking the findings that had been the central basis for U.S. action to regulate greenhouse gas emissions and fight climate change. The most aggressive move by a Republican president to roll back climate regulations. State Attorney General J.B. McCuskey commented on that yesterday in a press release applauding the administration's move. McCuskey said, "I am enormously excited for this announcement. The Trump administration promised to deregulate and repeal the unconstitutional Obama-era endangerment finding is the single most impactful deregulatory action in American history." He had more to say, but we'll let him say it. Joining us from the Encova Insurance Studios in Charleston this morning, State Attorney General J.B. McCuskey. J.B., good to talk to you again. It's been a while.
It has been a little while. How is everybody?
Wonderful, well, sir.
Did you guys gleefully turn off your start-stop button today in your vehicles?
I turn mine off every day.
Oh, man, but now you don't even have to ever have it. It's the most annoying vehicle feature of all time. In terms of interpersonal change as a result of this endangerment finding, the fact that cars won't have to have that in it anymore will probably make people the most happy.
So let's get into it.
Yeah.
This whole thing, the endangerment finding, give people some history here so we can tie it all together. It stems back to a ruling of the Supreme Court, Massachusetts versus EPA. Go. How did we get here?
Yeah, and so Massachusetts versus EPA was an important case in 2007. But it's important to realize that nowhere in that case did anyone ever say that Congress had authorized the EPA to delineate CO2 as a pollutant, right? That isn't what Congress has ever done. And since Massachusetts versus EPA, we have 2 landmark decisions that really changed the way that that decision needs to be read. And those are Loper-Bright and West Virginia versus EPA.
Loper-Bright does what?
They're both major questions doctrines, but essentially what they both say is that without specific congressional authorization, the EPA or any other regulatory agency that is similarly situated cannot act beyond what Congress has given them the authority to do. And it is very, very clear to me, and it's obviously clear to Secretary or Administrator Zeldin, who I was actually with on Wednesday, and is one of
look at you rubbing elbows,
my favorite guys. He's the best. And, our office does a lot of, we've spent a lot of time working with lawyers at the EPA. And I think this is very, very clear. And Administrator Zeldin said this in the press conference yesterday. If Congress wants this to be regulated this way, they need to pass a law that authorizes the EPA to do it. And what he said is it is very, very clear that the EPA overstepped its bounds, especially in light of West Virginia versus EPA and Loper Bright, and we are going to repeal this. And if Congress wants to come back and do it, Congress can, right? If the American people elect, 534 congresspeople, senators, and they say we want to pay $2,500 more for our cars. We want start-stop buttons. We don't want to have gas vehicles. We want to pay more for all of our food. We want to pay more for all the transportation, right? If the American people decide they want to pay that decision from the EPA, right? The fact that they made CO2 as covered under this and all of the things that happened cost the American people $1.5 trillion. $1.5 trillion. Repealing this will put somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,000 to $4,000 back into the pockets of every single American. And that comes from new car prices will go down, right? Because we don't have to have all these features. And you see places like Ford, right? What did Ford do just on Monday? They eliminated their entire electric vehicle fleet. Customers don't want them. Ford would be making electric vehicles right now if the American people wanted to buy them.
So let the market work.
Right. And the market did work. Right. And they tried to incentivize these electric vehicles to the tune of hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. The federal government pumped into this electric vehicle market. And what's the only one people buy? Teslas, because they're cool and they work and they're fun. Right. But you cannot use the government to subsidize these kind of industries and get customers to want them. They just don't. Americans, by and large, want to buy gas powered and diesel powered vehicles. And what the elimination of the endangerment finding does is really puts the ball back in Congress's court where it should have been in the first place. The EPA overstepped its bounds, and it is sort of humorous, right, to watch, the left trip all over itself to talk about how this is going to be the end of the earth, yada yada yada. The same people who say that Trump is a dictator and that all they want to do is aggregate power. This is probably the largest relinquishment of power from a regulatory agency in American history.
Oh, no doubt.
Right? And so this president, who everyone says is a dictator, right, everyone who doesn't like him, is authorizing his regulators to give his administration significantly less power, and in a way that is really, really smart because it's great for the auto industry and it's great for the American taxpayer.
State Attorney General J.B. McCuskey joining us here on MetroNews Talkline. And I guess I want to ask you to try to predict the future here. This is going to face a court challenge. I mean, right? Will this face a court challenge from
It probably already is. It wouldn't shock me that there was enough heads up that likely the sort of left-leaning legal groups that constantly challenge things like this have probably already prepared their complaints. It wouldn't shock me if the first one wasn't already filed.
But isn't that a good thing? And I'll tell you why. Because if I'm a business guy, whether I'm building a power plant, whether I'm building an automotive line, whatever, I don't know that I still have certainty that the next president, if it's a Democrat or whatever with a different leaning, just goes back to the EPA and says, look, Mass versus EPA is still in the books. No one's brought it back up. The court hasn't struck it back down. We're going to do the same thing again. And then I'm in the lurch again because I made investment decisions that I need to recover over a 20, 30-year horizon. Shouldn't it go back to the court? Wouldn't that give me more?
It needs to go to Congress.
I get it, but I want it off the books. I want the court to overturn Mass versus EPA because Congress isn't going to act. So if I'm a business guy, I need some certainty here.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you anymore. We've been working on with a bunch of stakeholders several ideas on how we can put certainty back into this market. One of the problems we have is if you're trying to build a gas or a coal-fired power plant, obviously we're trying to build a mess of them here. What do you do if the next president just says gas is illegal? And President Biden would have said that. He would have said coal is illegal. He would have banned building these power plants in their totality, I believe. And so we have to have a system where people who are saying, I'm going to add electrons to the grid. I'm going to spend $3 billion. I'm going to build this power plant. They have to know that if their permit gets revoked with the next president, they're either going to get paid back for what they've invested or they're going to be able to continue and complete the project. And so there's a bunch of ways you can do that. One of them is through the courts. An important way, which I think we've both agreed is impossible because, I mean, they can barely even get a budget done, which is the base. I mean, they have press conferences when they pass a budget. It's crazy, right? Like they're all patting themselves on the back for doing the exact bare minimum of what they're supposed to be doing. Congress needs to act. But in light of them not acting, we need to create systems where the market has certainty that they can build the infrastructure we need to make the power that we all know is coming. And it's interesting, just real quick, TJ I and Dave, one of the things that, and I was just talking to a bunch of 8th graders. It's something called youth leadership. And they come to the Capitol, and I was getting to talk to all these kids, and one of the guys said, hey, he said, doesn't coal make electricity? He was like, these electric cars should be great for coal. And I said, you just identified one of the great blunders, I believe, in political history. And that was when the Obama administration decided that everyone needed to drive an electric car. If they looked at Appalachia and said, you know what, we're going to let you charge them all. We're going to let you build 5 gas-fired power plants, 5 coal-fired power plants, and West Virginia, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and Ohio are going to be the battery that charges every single one of these electric cars. Right? Then you get to win twice. Then they start to rebuild the economy in Appalachia, and they start to accomplish the goal that they wanted. But they did it the opposite way. They said, you have to drive an electric car, and you can't build a coal-fired power plant. Right? That was the real problem that they had, is that they didn't allow the market as it sat to build the infrastructure that they needed for these cars and build allies instead of enemies. And that's really the way the tack that they took, and I think it's really kind of it's a good sort of window into how little people from these large left-leaning states care about people that live in places like this.
State Attorney General J.B. McCuskey joining us. Before we let you go, J.B., did see that, and you mentioned it there, you made the trip to D.C. earlier this week. Those are special opportunities. You get a chance to meet with some people. You get a chance to talk about West Virginia. What was your message to the folks in D.C. when you had a chance to talk to a few people?
Yeah, the message always that I deliver to the people in D.C. is that we matter here and that our voices matter, our economy matters, our people matter, and that you have to, when you're making these decisions, always think about the people in West Virginia, the people in eastern Kentucky and southeastern Ohio and western Virginia. And you have to say, what are we doing? What we're doing good for New York? Is it good for Illinois? But also, is this something that's going to help the people of West Virginia and Appalachia rebuild their economy? And this administration, especially at the Department of Energy and at at EPA and at the Department of Interior, hears the voices of the people in Appalachia, and they react in a way that is positive for us, and that makes trips to D.C. Really fruitful and honestly really. I felt great when I came home from D.C. the other day.
J.B. McCuskey, State Attorney General. J.B., we appreciate you stopping by. Come visit us when we're up in the Upper Rotunda. You know where we are most of the time.
I do know where you are, but you know where I am, too. You could broadcast from my office, too. I don't know why I have to come see you. You guys come see me.
Well, it may come to that one day. You never know.
Let's do it. I'm in.
J.B., always appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much.
You'll have a great day.
State Attorney General J.B. McCuskey. We'll get an update from Daniel Woods next.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
An irregular heartbeat can be serious. At WVU Medicine, our electrophysiology team offers world-class care, close to home and always within reach, to diagnose and treat heart rhythm disorders with advanced technology and devices. Call 877-WVU, the number 4, HRT, or visit WVUmedicine.org/heart.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
Every day in West Virginia, we play for something bigger.
As a mom, I play for her education.
I play because it helps provide care for the ones who care for us.
I play to help keep our parks beautiful.
Why I play? Because every play supports West Virginia's future, our students, our seniors, and our state parks. For 40 years, proceeds from the West Virginia Lottery have totaled nearly $13.7 billion. I play. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
All the sports West Virginia is talking about.
Nikki Izzo-Brown, coach of the nationally ranked WVU women's soccer team.
I think they're just having a very good understanding of each other.
Join Kyle Wiggs, Brett Howe, and Coach Hunter weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Of West Virginia. Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot's $146 million. Mega Millions jackpot is $385, so go ahead, play today. Daniel Woods has been working furiously in the Metro News newsroom this morning. He's been keeping an eye on the Public Service Commission this morning, and I believe, I can't see him, but I think Daniel is in studio with you, TJ?
He's here.
All right, Daniel. What's going on, man? Good morning, first of all.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on. Effectively, there was supposed to be an evidentiary hearing before the Public Service Commission today on its investigation into Black Diamond Power, which launched last October. There had been an increase in complaints in regard to both reliability of service and to billing. This hearing was supposed to be about the investigation into service reliability, and it never really got started because David Hanna, the legal counsel for Black Diamond Power, before things got started, Charlotte Lane, the PSC chair, said, is there any preliminary things we need to get out of the way before we get into testimony? And David Hanna said, I've got a statement here from David Musser, the president of Black Diamond Power, and he wants me to inform the commission that he intends to sell the company. So that's where we are right now. The hearing was suspended until April. The PSC is going to continue its investigation and permit Black Diamond to have sale conversations with anybody that would be interested. And it was brought up specifically that there have already been discussions between Black Diamond Power's leadership and Appalachian Power Company about a potential sale to Appalachian Power, but there has not been a proposal yet.
Well, that makes sense. Who else is going to buy this thing? I mean, in many instances, APCO feeds the Black Diamond system.
That's the case.
There you go.
Yeah. They already buy their power from Appalachian with a power purchase agreement, and that's actually how the conversation started. David Hanna said, as the hearing was getting started, he said, we met in November to talk about three things. One of them was the power purchase agreement, and one of them was, do you want to buy the company, basically? And that's where it stands right now. Black Diamond has obviously been in the midst of this for several months. There have been some high-profile people come out, representatives particularly of Clay, Wyoming, and Raleigh counties, which have about 5,000 customers that are served by Black Diamond Power. Roger Hanshaw has come out and said something needs to be done about this. Senators Brian Helton and Roland Roberts signed a letter that said something needs to be done about this. So it looks like they're going to get that 2-month buffer to try to hammer out a sale. It sounds like to Appalachian Power. But the PSC staff attorney, Victoria Wilson, said, I would like to continue this investigation because we have final recommendations due on April 15th. And if this sale falls through, we still want to be able to make those recommendations to the PSC.
TJ, I will defer to you as general counsel here on Talkline. But this all makes sense to you as a guy who's spent a large chunk of your career in the energy industry. All this makes sense to you?
It makes sense to me. They already feed Black Diamond. It is not without precedence. 25 years ago, down in McDowell County, AEP bought out a large portion of what was then called Musser Company, which was essentially Black Diamond, same thing. It's not without precedent, happens quite a bit across the country for small utilities that can no longer provide a level of service that they need to. So APCO will come in. They'll do what they do. They'll up the standard to the rest of the system. They'll invest in it. And there we go. And it's inevitable. These small companies, it's just inevitable. You can't make it today in this environment where we are, in my humble opinion. And so, there you go.
All right. Story coming at WVMetroNews.com.
Story published at WVMetroNews.com.
Look at him, man.
Look at him. He's almost that's Brad McElhenney type speed right there.
He's like, I ain't playing. Who you talking to?
Daniel Woods from the Metro News newsroom and also from the sports desk, moonlighting over in the newsroom this morning. Hey, Daniel, appreciate it as always, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming back, we'll wrap up hour number one, tell you what's coming up in hour number two. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
For over 30 years, High Technology Foundation has been committed to building a stronger West Virginia. Our mission, economic diversification. By fostering innovation and supporting tech initiatives, we pave the way for a brighter future. From cutting-edge research to tech-driven solutions, we're transforming the landscape. Join us in creating opportunities and driving progress. Let's build a diverse economy together. Visit WVHTF.org. High Technology Foundation, shaping West Virginia's future.
Since 1926, the West Virginia Hospital Association has been the collective voice of our state's hospitals. With a shared vision of strengthening communities, improving lives, and supporting our state's economic well-being, our member hospitals work every day to provide high-quality, accessible care. This year, we celebrate 100 years of a unified voice and our ongoing commitment to supporting our members in achieving a strong, healthy West Virginia.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University, your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
On the next State of Minds.
My dad always said, don't let any one individual control your destiny, what you do, what your value is. And I wasn't about to let Paterno do that to me. I mean, it was just a phenomenal time, my first game, and to be accepted as a Mountaineer.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
It's high school basketball season, and MetroNews Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream MetroNews Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on MetroNews Television.
Quick first hour, second hour coming. Steam release in 33 minutes. This is Talkline on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia. Hoppy Kercheval, 5:55 a.m. How early did you get in that day, by the way?
Probably 3:30.
How long did you do sign-on shift?
I signed on 7 years.
Not all.
6 days a week for 7 years.
Lightweight.
I know. Couldn't do it now. Now when I wake up at 3:30 is to go to the bathroom. And go back to bed.
Welcome to the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com on a Wednesday, and I apologize because Stephanie Pauly is our producer, one of the producers of the show, and normally she has everything. We have a thing we call the run sheet, when we have who we're calling and what we're doing and so on. And so and Stephanie, I don't even know whether you know this, I did the run sheet today, and I put the wrong date on. I put 2025 on it. Because how many of us in modern day actually write the date out anymore? I mean, you did it when you were in school, you did it back when people wrote checks and whatever. This may have been the first day that I have written the date down, and I was responsible for putting together the sheet. And my co-host, the lovely and talented AB, starts the show by saying January 24th, 2025, because she read it directly off the sheet. And it is indeed the year of our Lord, 2026.
Oh, yeah, he did find something out. Something, you're related to Thomas Jefferson?
Well, no, I'm not related to Thomas Jefferson, but I am related to Samuel Kercheval, who was a historian.
I'm going to tell you something about Samuel Kercheval. Him and Jefferson out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. I want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably. Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
Ah, that's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble, when it goes to court here. Is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time. Mm-hmm. If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument, because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bouncing him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
– 10 seconds remaining.
There'll be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but, God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things. And I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard. And if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning, second hour of MetroNews Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave in Morgantown, TJ in Charleston. Sophia Wasik handling the audio side of things today, and Zach Karolchek is our video producer. We appreciate it. If you are tuning us in on one of our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia, or if you're watching on the MetroNews TV app, Facebook Live, YouTube, we appreciate you being part of our day. Steam release coming up 11:33. Your chance to vent, let it all out before we get into the weekend, but we have some business prior to that. Brad McElhenney will join us coming up at 11:20-ish for an update from in and around the capital of West Virginia. Once again, say good morning. TJ Meadows down in Charleston. Morning, TJ.
Good morning, sir. Speaking of one, Brad McElhenney, perhaps he will be able to shed light on the Politico article that he just sent me that says that General Counsel Mike Stewart will leave his current position as part of a larger shakeup in health department leadership. Of course, the general counsel for the Department of Health and Human Services there in D.C. So there you go.
Interesting. All right, Brad will join us coming up in just a bit. Chris Stirewalt is the politics editor for The Hill and News Nation, host of The Hill Sunday on News Nation, a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, and an author of books on politics and media, and a great West Virginian as well. Chris, good morning. Good to talk to you again, buddy.
That's that's an interesting news nugget you just gave us there about Mike Stewart and the DHHS. That's noteworthy, people.
Yeah, Mike Stewart. Also, Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill reported to leave his position as well, Chris.
So the story of the first year of the Trump administration is we don't care. We don't care. We're not changing. We're not going to do anything differently. You can complain. You can say whatever you want. All of a sudden, for the past month, let's say, it's been, and I think the shootings in Minneapolis were the critical part of it, but the administration is definitely changing course, right? Is it temporary? Is it a retrenchment? Is it whatever? But the fact that the shakeup at the Secretary Kennedy's agency has been this sort of the biggest troll of them all in terms of moderate Republicans and independent voters to say, like, we don't care. We're just doing whatever we want to do. And if you don't like it, that's fine. So I don't want to overinterpret that, but making changes there may be a material part of an effort from this administration to try to not get their brains beat in November.
Is it an acknowledgement? Boy, again, I'm trying not to read too much into it, taking off your cue there, Chris, but is it an acknowledgement by the Trump administration that we need to fix some things? Is this coming from, is it Trump who is not an ideologue going, well, you guys are making me look bad, it's time to move on to somebody else? Because you said, it's like The Apprentice on this show, so.
Right. Well, think about Pam Bondi's testimony that she gave for on the Epstein files. If you're thinking about the broader audience, that was, of course, a catastrophe. Answering a question about the Epstein files or anything else by talking about how high the Dow Jones Industrial Average is no bueno, right? This is not only not what the Attorney General is supposed to do. This is, from a political standpoint, don't worry about the victims of child sex trafficking. Focus on how high the stock prices are. I don't know. That's not politically, it's not good. But I will, if the only audience that mattered for the attorney general was President Trump and having the ability to say, I went down there, I did not give an inch, I punched them in the face, I insulted them, I hectored them, I gave it back to them twice as hard as they gave it to me. And then maybe she gets to keep her job and maybe Trump continues to go along. But another piece of West Virginia news that points to what really may be going on here, the business about the West Virginia not agreeing to the Justice Department and its demand for in-depth voter identification information in West Virginia. Now, I know what the law says in West Virginia, but the fact that Chris Warner said, no, we will not do it. This is sensitive information. West Virginians prize their independence. Like, he didn't skirt it. He said no. And that's remarkable coming from somebody who has been as big a MAGA booster and supportive of the president's efforts to overturn the 2020 election and all kind of stuff. So there's stuff going on, right? Like, a lot of it's happening under the surface, but I do think that the growing understanding among Republicans that they are in for a Titanic whooping this fall, if things continue on as they are, is causing people to, as President Lincoln would say, to think anew and act anew.
How much of this is the Trump administration trying to feed the board a head, but not a big head? I mean, look, Stewart's a guy. He's not a big guy, right? But you're feeding the beast something. Is there anything to be made of that argument?
That's not a move. Getting rid of Mike Stewart doesn't get you any. It won't make much news nationally. It won't be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they got rid of Mike Stewart. Will not be a big national story. Probably points more to potential structural changes that may be coming. Because if you're the president, president has poor impulse control. This is the story of his existence. He has poor impulse control, and he is highly emotional in the way he engages with things. So to back to the Pam Bondi business, he probably liked it, right? He probably enjoyed it. He probably told her, good job. You were awful to them. And I really appreciate that. But then you have the next one. And this is where the lack of guardrails for Donald Trump has disserved his second term, which is, if you don't have any grownups there to say, no, we can't do that. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. can't be Secretary of Health. And if he is, he certainly has to be surrounded by highly expert. We have to be very careful over here. Look at Susan Collins in Maine. Donald Trump obviously does not like Susan Collins, who relatively recently, he's basically said she should lose for supporting a war powers resolution against him. And now it's like, ICE is out of Maine. It's okay. All of these conciliatory noises to Susan Collins. So basically, it's just taken way too long for the political reality of the moment to set in. And the question now is, are there grown-ups? Are there adults? We know John Thune has been part of this effort, one of the few parts of this effort. But I'll shut up about it by saying creative tension is helpful in producing good outcomes. I'm sure I've mentioned to you before the scene in Bohemian Rhapsody where the Freddie Mercury character says to the members of the band, you have to take me back. I went off to do my own thing and they let me do whatever I wanted, and it was terrible. And so Donald Trump did better when he was in conflict and tension with serious, sober-sided, responsible Republicans. If you surround yourself with Pam Bondi and RFK and a bunch of people who say, yes, sir, it's the most brilliant tweet ever, I love it, you don't get the upsides of creative tension.
Chris Stirewalt joining us here on Metro News Talkline. I want to go back to Chris Warner for a minute. We're obviously in the state getting the perspective from inside. What was the perspective outside of the state? How much did that make ripples? Was it noteworthy to people that here's a Republican from a heavy Trump state saying no?
Well, it will be once I tell them about it. This is.
They haven't watched The Hill Sunday yet, obviously.
Yeah, this is. I take it to be significant, and I think it speaks to the problem. There's an imaginary November. We'll call it the Stephen Miller November. And we heard, I think it was Steve Bannon talk about, ICE agents are going to surround the polls and we're going to do all of that stuff. I don't think that the Chris Warners of the United States would like to give up. Maybe I put it this way. Just because Donald Trump is the president doesn't mean that right-wing America loves the government. Right-wing America doesn't. It's not like now we will live in the sunny uplands of history forever, and we will always have a authoritarian coded, hardcore, demagogic right-wing president. If you're open to any of the possibility that one day the Republicans will not be in charge, then you have to be prudent. You have to take certain steps and say, we can't give away the farm now. Because once Alexandria, and this is one of the problems of the Republicans of this era. Just keep saying it to yourself if you're a Republican. President Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Keep saying it to yourself and think about that. Because saying that now is nowhere near as ridiculous as it would have been to say in 2013, President Donald Trump, right? And Republicans need to understand that the mansion of executive power and authority that they are trying to build, or Donald Trump is trying to build for himself, will have another occupant someday. And whether it's tariffs or federally controlled elections, I asked a congressman, one of the congressmen who is supporting the Make Elections Great Again Act, I said, Republicans knew that what Democrats tried to do with For the People Act after Joe Biden won was bad because it federalized elections. Why is this different? And the answer was, well, because we like these policies. But you don't want to, if you like America, if you like the Constitution, if you like separated powers, then you want states to maintain control of elections. That's actually a bulwark. It's a safeguard against tyranny. It's a safeguard of our rights, of our liberties, of all of those things. That it's actually the reason that authority is given to the states is not just to make the states happy. It's because it's actually good, right? It's actually meritorious. So I think the long process of coming to terms with the fact that human nature has no history. People are the same at every place and every time in all of human existence. Number one, we are unchangeable in our natures. And number two, history is not over. We have not reached the end of anything. It is a continuum that will take the next steps, and how we conduct ourselves in any given moment has ramifications for how we will live in the future.
Maybe I'm just of a different time. Maybe I'm too much like Pollyanna. But as I understand the TikTok when it comes to Warner, they asked. Right. He told them in writing, this is against West Virginia law. I can't do it. They turned around and asked again. They asked him to break the law. The DOJ asked an elected official to ignore the law. I mean, geez.
Well, that's what they did in Georgia after 2020, right? They said count. They counted. They said count again. They counted again. And Donald Trump got on the phone with Secretary of State of Georgia and said, I need you to find me 14,000 votes or whatever it was. And it's the idea that you would, and obviously what the Justice Department, maybe not obviously, but what it would appear to be is the Justice Department was saying, like, can't you get around the law though? Can't you find some creative way to defeat the law? Here's one thing I know about West Virginians. For sure, they don't trust the government, and they don't want the government to have more information about them than they need. That's something I know for sure about Democrats, Republicans, old and young. Part of being an Appalachian American is correctly to be suspicious. You know, I often say that the two groups that keep America are Appalachian Americans and Black Americans who, for very, very, very good reasons, are suspicious of people who want to have power over them, and are suspicious when the COVID vaccine stuff came out, you're like, who are the two groups that have the lowest uptake rate on COVID vaccine? And it was states like West Virginia, and it was Black America. And people said, well, this is a knowledge problem. I said, or it's an experience problem, or they are people whose lives individually and in their families and in their experience have said, when somebody comes here and tells you to do something, check again, ask twice. Yeah. And that sort of healthy skepticism, not necessarily as it relates to vaccine uptake rates, but that sort of healthy skepticism about people who want to tell you what to do and take your information and push you around. Montanai semper liberi, right? The freedom of being away and apart is valuable. And I think West Virginians understand that.
Chris Stirewalt, politics editor for the Hill News Nation and host of the Hill Sunday on News Nation, senior fellow at American Enterprise Institute. Always appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much.
Booyah.
Brad McElhenney will get us updated from the Capitol next.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
Hospitals drive West Virginia's economy. They produce jobs and create opportunities while keeping our communities healthy. Employing nearly 54,000 people, West Virginia hospitals rank among our state's largest and most dependable employers. They provide more than $1 billion in community benefits and generate nearly $17 billion in total economic impact each year. Hospitals are investing where it counts, advancing health, ensuring access to care, and powering West Virginia's economic future.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at wvha.org.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I've had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Steich Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steich-info@wealthenhancement.com.
5 good minutes with Brad McElhenney with an update from the state capitol, brought to you by AARP, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Connect on social media at AARP West Virginia and learn more at aarp.org/WV. Good morning, Brad.
Oh, hi, good morning.
Friday the 13th at the legislature. There are some business bills moving today. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, first of all, both the House and the Senate are now going hot and heavy at this hour. The Senate is being presided by the Majority Leader, Patrick Martin, today. Unfortunately, this is a reminder that our lawmakers are human. Randy Smith, the Senate president, has had a death in the family. I believe it was said that it was his sister, sudden and unexpected. So he's left maybe for a few days. And Patrick Martin, the Majority Leader, is presiding from the dais today. Patricia Rucker, who has been the Deputy Majority Leader, has moved up into that slot. So a little bit of shifting around. The House of Delegates also up and running now. As we speak, I think they're still doing introductions. Introductions, if you don't watch every day, that is a lengthy and important process, but that's going on now. The House is doing some of its, notable high priority job and workplace development bills. The first thing they anticipate passing today is actually a bill that came over from the Senate, the Small Business Growth Act, that's Senate Bill 1. The Department of Commerce, should this bill become law, would oversee certification of growth funds. In other words, people could invest in small businesses in West Virginia. Those funds must demonstrate a history of successful investing and provide a plan for generating positive fiscal impact. Investors who provide capital to the funds become eligible for insurance premium tax credits, so an incentive, which are vested over several years based on the amount of the contribution. There's another bill right after that, the West Virginia First Small Business Growth Act. It sounds very similar to me, actually. So, one thing I may be listening for when they get to these bills is what's the difference, or would they could be combined in some way. Earlier today, maintaining this theme, the House Finance Committee began working on what they called the Portable Benefit Account Act. That would allow independent contractors, the gig economy, to maintain personal accounts for benefits like health insurance and retirement. They would be intended potentially to move along with you to the next contract, the next job. So they're designed to stay with the individual worker rather than being tied to a specific employer or hiring entity. That it makes sense in the kind of work that people do now that are more flexibility, less staying with one employer for the rest of your life, more moving from place to place, but the security potentially of maintaining these benefits. So again, that was in House Finance earlier this morning. That they took care of that pretty quickly, and you'll eventually, maybe next week, see that one moving to the House floor. So the House continuing with its promise to maintain focus on these jobs and workforce development bills.
20 seconds, Brad. 30 days, a little less than 30 days left. We're over halfway. If we're going to do this tax thing, if we're going to do school aid formula, we got to start moving, right? We're running out of time.
Dave brought this up yesterday. I don't know what gives. I can't do the math on how you do both the tax cut and some sort of additional financing for the school systems. If you're trying to keep the budget flat, I think one's got to go and one's got to get in.
MetroNews statewide correspondent Brad McElhenney. His update from the Capitol brought to you by AARP, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Brad, have a nice weekend. We'll talk to you Monday morning as we get another week cranked up at the Capitol. Thank you, buddy.
Please don't threaten me. Thank you.
Brad McElhenney, MetroNews statewide correspondent. You're in charge of the final 30 minutes of this show. Steam Release is coming up next. Your chance to vent before Valentine's Day weekend. This is Talkline on MetroNews for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It is 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Chris Lawrence. It is a 180-degree turn for coal in the White House. After years of being shunned by Obama and Biden administrations, miners and coal industry leaders say the Trump administration has welcomed them back with open arms.
It's just phenomenal. I mean, we've never experienced anything quite like this. And he is so serious about helping our business.
That's Chris Hamilton, president of the West Virginia Coal Association. This week, the president announced new funding to help retool coal-fired power plants across Appalachia to extend their life in producing power. U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito, speaking to West Virginia reporters, said West Virginia gets bigger benefits from this.
What this does not only for us is it keeps our power generation going in West Virginia, but it keeps our coal miners working. These are jobs that are good-paying jobs, that are very respected jobs.
Appalachian Power has already announced it'll seek $35 million for funding, with plans to upgrade the cooling tower and condenser at the John Amos plant and upgrade the boiler at the Mountaineer plant in Mason County. The state senate is revisiting the Cohen-Craddock Student Athlete Safety Act, named for a Boone County middle schooler who died after a blow to the head while playing football. His dad, Ryan Craddock.
My sole goal is to take a tragedy from what we've had to experience as a family of Cohens, and hopefully to help and prevent other kids.
This year's bill would use the Guardian Cap helmet cover, make it permissive in schools if they want to use it, but it won't be mandatory. You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain States premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. A WBRC media event.
Hi, I'm Grant Maltba, Project Manager with CEC. Ever dreamt of working hands-on with wildlife? As a bat biologist at CEC, I do just that. Every day is a new adventure, tackling unique challenges and helping clients meet their Endangered Species Act requirements. It's not just rewarding for me, but it boosts our local economy and aids bat conservation too. Want to make a difference in the field? Join us at CEC. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
A Romanian national in the U.S. illegally now faces federal prison time for stealing credit card information in West Virginia. 36-year-old Andre Figueres pleaded guilty this week to access device fraud. U.S. attorneys in northern West Virginia say he put a skimming device on a credit card machine at a self-checkout in a Clarksburg grocery store. That device and others he had installed swiped the information of numerous customers, totaling about $250,000 in fraud. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Talk 304 and 800-765-8255. Your heart starts with primary care, and WVU Medicine makes it easy. From annual checkups and preventative screenings to managing everyday concerns, our primary care providers are here for you and your family. With convenient locations and access to the full WVU Medicine network, you'll get the care you need when you need it. Schedule your appointment today at wvumedicine.org/primary care or call 855-WVU Care. It is Friday, it is 11:30, and that means
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
You've been watching the legislature all week. You've seen us at the Capitol. Not a lot of time to comment. So we leave this for you, a chance to vent, and you don't want to be angry. It's Valentine's Day weekend. You got to take the significant other out to eat. You have to be very nice. It's all about the love this weekend. So today, get it out. Get it out. Get your frustrations out. You don't want to take that in to Valentine's Day weekend. 800-765-TALK is the phone number, 800-765-8255 to release your steam, or you can text your steam to 304-TALK-304. Now, a couple of guidelines. I heard Dave Allen yesterday during his open line segment. What's he call it? Open West Virginia?
Open line West Virginia.
Something like that. Commenting, yes, we have rules. Unlike Dave Allen, the anarchist that he is, we have rules. One of them is try to keep it tight. Don't get us sued. Don't get us fired. And we may not respond to your steams. You are free to steam about us. you are free to steam about former hosts of the show. And as I always throw in now the caveat, apparently you're more than happy to steam about Ethan, the producer, who has a little stomach bug. Get well, Ethan. But you can steam about him. We cannot respond. We must take it like bad first graders who have to stand against the brick wall with their nose on the wall. So 304-TALK, 304, the text line, and 800-765-8255. Those are the numbers. Do you have the text steams prepared, Mr. Meadows?
Before we get going, did you get your Valentine's Day shopping done?
Do you have the text steams prepared, TJ?
I just ignored the holiday. I said it. There you go.
There you go.
Texter says, what's so hard about running an E-Verify on a person? Come on. 304-TALK, 304. Well, I spent 4 weeks learning Spanish so I could understand the Super Bowl halftime show, only to find the performer had nothing to say. Patrick Morrissey tries to act like Donald Trump. I think he's a one-term governor. He needs to move back to New Jersey, says the texter. I'm curious, is money the only consideration for any legislation, be it state or federal? I'm hearing nothing of vehicle safety, air quality, nor fuel efficiency. Does McCuskey have any other considerations besides monetary savings? Again, that text line 304-TALK 304. This textress says, we, the younger generation, are not leaving West Virginia because of lack of job opportunities. We're leaving because of the prevailing 19th century attitude of the ruling class of this mentality constipated state. The day school ends, I'll be leaving no matter what jobs you have to offer me. Texter says Mike Stewart can't stay in D.C. and run for governor in West Virginia all at the same time. 33.7 seconds. 33.7 seconds before Stirewalt mentioned the guy. Steam release. Most of us West Virginia residents see AEP as a huge problem. Their rates keep going up while making record profits year after year for their biggest shareholders, Vanguard Group, BlackRock, State Street. Most of West Virginia is poor. And in fact, roughly 60% of West Virginians receive some sort of public assistance. Also, those few blue-collar workers that actually make it to retirement can barely afford their monthly bills. West Virginia should require AEP to lower the cost of energy. Come on, West Virginia's leadership. You can do better. Who is organizing and financing all of these anti-ICE protests? Asking for a friend, says the texter. What do West Virginians want from our government? Listen to us. Make our state as accessible as possible. Quit trying to improve things we are obviously no good at. Model social programs after states that are successful. So the Democrats are shutting down the government, not the Republicans. They say it's about ICE. Okay, so I've removed 3,336 children from Minnesota who Biden let in. These children were trafficked and avoided because of Biden, and ICE rescued them, says the texter. Steam text, Chris Stirewalt tells it like it is again today. He does not tell us, do not believe your eyes. It is not reality, says the texter.
You can text your Steam at 304-TALK 304. You can give us a call as well. Sophia is sitting by awaiting your call. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255, 800-765-TALK. That's the phone number, and 304-TALK 304 is the text line to release your Steam. It may not feel like it, but boating weather is right around the corner, and you'll regret if you're not thinking about a fishing boat or pontoon boat now, because when the weather breaks, you'll be sitting on the bank instead of being out on the water. So get ready early for boating season with great deals on pontoon and fishing boats at Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Check out the inventory at LouWendellMarineSales.com. Lou Wendell Marine Sales, we sell family fun. 800-765-TALK and 304-TALK 304. That's the phone number, and that's the text line. Steam release, off and rolling. Back in a moment.
Since 1926, the West Virginia Hospital Association has been the collective voice of our state's hospitals, with a shared vision of strengthening communities, improving lives, and supporting our state's economic well-being. Our member hospitals work every day to provide high-quality, accessible care. This year, we celebrate 100 years of a unified voice and our ongoing commitment to supporting our members in achieving a strong, healthy West Virginia.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
You're listening to Talkline on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
With Metro News Hotline. If it's trending, it's probably here.
So it's Dennis, it's Rodman degrees out there today.
Oh, that sounds really uncomfortable.
I know it does. I know it does.
Is that legal? Is that past FCC? I don't know if you're allowed to say anything's Rodman something. That's
it's Rodman degrees.
That's
outside.
like saying it's awful Diddy out there. I don't know that we can do that.
Yeah. Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
On the next State of Minds.
My dad always said, don't let any one individual control your destiny, what you do, what your value is. And I wasn't about to let Paterno do that to me. I mean, it was just a phenomenal time, my first game, and to be accepted as a Mountaineer.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Steam release continues. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the number to call to release your steam. You can text your steam to 304-TALK-304. Your chance to vent before you head into Valentine's Day weekend. Let's go to the phones. They're steaming up at the Northern Outpost this morning. Good morning, Bill.
Hey, guys. First, isn't it just rich to compare Ryan Schmelz and Chris Stirewalt from when they arrived in D.C. to today's conversation? That is a really good comparison, in my opinion. Now, the steam for the time of the year. This is time of year, Valentine's Day, and midway through the 60-day election cycle. Unusual things happen. So to the young bucks and the legislators seeking re-election, occasionally testosterone affects the brain. It would be wise not to max out your credit card to buy a box of chocolate-covered strawberries and a dozen roses. Because eventually the sugar high is over and the bloom falls off the rose and the credit card is still due. Just a word from the Northern Outpost.
Bill, appreciate the advice. Thank you very much. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Got a couple lines open. 304-TALK-304. That is the text line. Let's get back to those text steams.
Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I hope the Republicans can show a little love to the people, says the texter. My steam is about the upcoming road closure on Route 250 between Mary Lou Retton Drive and Holbert Road in Fairmont. Anybody could see the last company that tried to repair the rock slides did not have the proper equipment. You need strip mine-sized excavation equipment here. WVDOH has been working on this area for 40 years and can't even route the water coming out of the Holbert Road under Route 250. Anyone that saw the flooding last spring would know a spillway is needed here, not another corrugated pipe that clogs up every year. Very detailed. The nominations and confirmations of Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem, Scott Bessent, and Tulsi Gabbard prove Donald Trump is a misogynist, says the texter. Gas prices are below $2.70 a gallon. The stock market hits an all-time high. Inflation is 2.4%. Violent crime is the lowest it's been in decades. The border is 100% secure. Trump is bringing coal profits back to West Virginia. Nearly 70% of West Virginians voted for Donald Trump. Yet, Chris Stirewalt spends 10 minutes every week criticizing Trump. I do not remember him treating the worst president in my lifetime, Joe Biden, with remotely the same scrutiny. And by the way, Ethan still should be on an IEP.
Wow. Wow. Let's go to the phones. Dale and Wheeling. What's up, Dale?
Hey, TJ, another guy. It's the real Dale A. You know, when you're talking love, you're talking Dale A. I once took the old lady to Long John Silver's. We split a 6-piece chicken and fish, extra crispies, a Mountain Dew and 2 straws. Took her home and had some peanut butter pie. Now that's love.
Everybody say it together. Thank you, Dale. Ain't love grand?
Indeed.
Sounds like a romantic weekend.
The peanut butter pie really put it over the top.
800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255 is the phone number. Text line is 304-TALK-304. Let's get a couple more text teams before the break here.
Steamed and boiling from constant robocalls stating West Virginia Medicare benefits are available. The do not call list is not working for these calls, says the texter. To the person saying he or she is leaving West Virginia, bye. I'm still stuck on my pontoon boat from Blue Wendell Marine in an ice jam on the Ohio River at Parkersburg.
I believe it. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255 is the phone number. 304-TALK-304. Tell you what, we'll take our final break. Last call for phone calls. Last call for text. Y'all are on point today, by the way. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. You can text your steam to 304-TALK-304. We will steam into the weekend. Next, this is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence, and the great outdoors is coming inside. Join me at the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. More than 100,000 square feet of fishing gear and hunting supplies, outfitters and charter boats, ATVs, campers and tractors, guns, knives, and much more, all under one roof. An outdoorsman's paradise. The West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th in Morgantown. A WVRC media event.
You're listening to Talkline on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
It's high school basketball season, and MetroNews Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Last call for phone calls, last call for text heading into the weekend to release your steam. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. You can text your steam to 304-TALK-304. It's your chance to let it all hang out there before you head into the weekend dedicated to love. That's the way you have to say it, TJ, like Barry White would used to. Love. You got to get low when you say it.
I don't know what to say to that. Okay.
I had a friend back, one of my friends in high school, his parents, I remember this today, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. His mom was kind of, teasing his dad a little bit. It's Valentine's Day weekend. It's the weekend for lovers. And his dad was just a straight as you could be delivery went, and what does that have to do with us? He said, straight deadpan delivery. It was the perfect comedic execution.
Me being me, I think it's the happy day for Christmas sales weren't what we wanted, and we need to boost retail sales day, which I'm a capitalist. I'm in favor of. Go.
First quarter
I got my wife
slow.
an index fund for Valentine's Day.
You're quite the romantic there, TJ.
I am, indeed.
Let's go back to the phones. Jamie, you're on Steam Release. What's your Steam?
Here's my Steam. Why do we got to talk about politics all the time? Have we tried just turning on pop music and letting the world burn? Because I think we should give it a try. I don't remember the last time I was happy talking about pop music, talking about politics, but there is a Taylor Swift song out there for every occasion, and they always make me happy. I think that girl on WVAQ is on to something.
Just steaming. Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255 is the phone number. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. All right, let's get some more text teams.
Shouldn't road contractors, whether DOH or private, be required to raise manhole covers so they're level with the new road surface? I'm tired of slamming into manhole-sized potholes on brand-new roads just because the covers weren't adjusted. So Ethan has a tummy ache. Now he knows how he makes us feel every single day. If only 14% of the people that have been rounded up by ICE have criminal records, that alone clearly explains why due process is absolutely necessary. Nice to have Sophia on the phones today. I heard that phony Ethan is driving across the country to find a troubled waitress from Wisconsin that he's trying to save from herself. Read them as they come. Steam Release. The SAVE Act, which Senator Capito said she supports, will disenfranchise her constituents, especially women who may have changed their names upon marriage, or folks who can't afford the cost of a passport or fees for obtaining the appropriate documentation. It's a poll tax. It's hard to take J.B. McCuskey or any Republican seriously due to their fealty to Trump. I can't believe a word out of anyone's mouth who has supported and continues to support the lying pedophile president. I'm sure JB may have points, but all I hear is BS due to his proximity to Trump. This texter simply says, be kind. Thank goodness for the phone. I'm not doing that. You can rag on yourself if you want to, Dave. I'm not going to do it for him. You can read that later if you want on your own.
Oh, no,
all the politicians... Read it if you want. I don't care. I'm not doing it.
Texter says, thank goodness for the phone and the text number. If it weren't for that, Wilson wouldn't have anything to say for 2 hours a day. We must accept the steams. But go on.
Okay. All the politicians get up and take the coal business is great. In the meanwhile, Southern West Virginia does not have decent drinking water. Mike and Elkins, can we do something about these sanctuary cities, especially D.C., full of child rapists? 304 Talk 304. Retired boomer here. I believe in the toilet paper principle. Once used, you are no longer wanted. The state GOP and those politicians from West Virginia know that Trump will use West Virginia. Will someone please explain tariffs to President Trump and how his use of them is harming America every day? We did not vote for this, says the texter. Hey, man, I took Travel-Lago TJ's advice, got a good travel plan. Has anyone heard of Lower Moldova? Let's see. Blame former Charleston police chief. Nope, not getting there, folks. Sorry. I'll go to the edge. I'm not going over the cliff. Seriously, if not for this show trying to start the Church of Stirewalt, West Virginia would have no idea who he is. 304 Talk 304. Don't need a weekend. I'm 16 miles from Virginia, which is for lovers every day. 84% of Americans want the SAVE Act passed, says the texter. Hi, fire investigator here. Let's not let the world burn. Thanks. Heaven knows. I think they meet in Washington, and it got spelled Worthington. Heaven knows Washington needs major help with their sewer mess. But how can the governor take funds from mine reclamation to fund this project? Makes no sense with the acres of spoiled strip mines scarring the state. How can you trust any government decision when money is involved? Hey, fellas, have you heard any word on getting rid of the immortal tolls that are on our highway? Editor's note, Dave, I have heard nothing about tolls this legislative session. You, sir?
Nope, same here.
Okay. 304 Talk 304. I heard Ethan Collins is heading to Shell City this weekend to bring back King Neptune's crown and save Mr. Krabs and prove that a goofy goober like him can make it in this big world. I have no idea what I just read, for the record. I don't know what any of that means.
But it tracks.
Happy Valentine's Day to all the ladies except Pam Bondi. I hope she gets monkeypox. Virginia is for speeding tickets, not lovers, says the texter. America, still the promised land. Guys, 70% of illegals and ICE has arrested have a criminal charge or final deportation order against him. The 14% BS the media is running with is violent criminals, sex trafficking, and robbery, and similar are not considered violent crimes, Dave.
304 Talk 304 is the text line at 800-765-TALK, the phone number. How many West Virginians have driven to Myrtle Beach? You go through the tunnel, TJ. You come out the other side, Virginia for lovers, and then there's that silver and blue state trooper from Virginia sitting there pointing that radar right at you. Yeah.
I am trying to think of a time that I ever traversed the Commonwealth of Virginia that I did not see a state trooper that had someone pulled over.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I ever have seen that. I don't think.
At one time, correct me if I'm wrong, North Carolina's troopers had Camaros, I believe, at one time.
Oh, yeah, down around Charlotte, I remember that. Yeah, they were big.
Yeah.
Yeah, Virginia does the planes too, Dave. Let's not forget about that.
I remember
by
those.
Virginia is for lovers is, hey, we're going to give you a speed ticket from the air, so watch out.
Good luck. Welcome to pothole season, says the texter. Yeah, it's been a hard winter.
Mm-hmm.
Hard winter on the roads. Be careful out there. It's like the pothole slalom in some areas.
Oh, they're everywhere.
77 was rough yesterday. I was on 77 for a while yesterday. It's rough in some spots, but
yeah.
It happens throughout the winter. Hey, big thanks to everyone that helps us out down at the state capitol. I want to give a big shout out to Jackie Bland Communications with the Senate and Ann Eli Communications with the House. They are tremendous help tracking down lawmakers for us at the Capitol. So want to give them a shout out. We will be back at the Capitol on Tuesday, in the studios on Monday to get set for the second half of the legislative session. Follow the news of the day over at the website, wvmetronews.com. For Zach, Sophia, TJ, I'm Dave. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Monday. This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.